Hello, I'm Executive Chef Joseph Schultz and welcome to our kitchen. Today I'd like to share with you a recipe and procedure for making one of my favorite Hungarian dishes, Kocsonya. Kocsonya is merely slow cooking some tasty pig parts into a clear, flavorful, gelatinous liquid, straining it and serving it cold. The gelatin will set and you have your aspic. Savory jello, if you will. Not a very difficult dish to make. However, it does require some patience, and there are a few little tricks here and there that will make your Kocsonya even better. So join me now as I show you how I make it. At this time, I'd like to say thank you very much to all the current subscribers. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you're a first-time visitor or repeat guest, welcome. And if you've not done so and you'd like the material, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up on the videos, and get the notification bell and be up to date with all of our weekly posts. Let's get cooking. Well, to begin, what I like to do is take my pig parts and I will drop that into some boiling water and I will cook that for about 5 minutes. This procedure is optional, but it does benefit you when you're trying to yield a clearer stock or liquid. So I'll begin with the tail. I have some tail meat as well. Get our trotters in there. Our ears. The ears are very, very gelatinous when cooking them. The liquid will be amazing. And one last piece is we're going to put our hock in there. This one is just a regular hock. And the one that I have here is a smoked hock. This one I'm going to reserve for when it comes time to start to cook the liquid. Well, now we will cook this for 5 minutes, and then we will drain the liquid, rinse off the pig parts with cold water, and set up another pot. Well, now that our tasty pig parts have been rinsed off and blanched, I'll go ahead and start loading my pot that already contains about 1.5 gallons of cold water. So go ahead and start laying in your meats. Go ahead and add our onions. Our garlic. And then I will go ahead and add my T-ball with the dried spices. I have in here mixed peppercorns, black, white, and red. I have bay leaves, and I also have dried cheapish paprika. So now that the meats are completely submerged, I will go ahead and turn my heat on to medium. And I'm going to want to keep an eye on this as it starts to simmer. We do not want a raging boil. It must be a very gentle simmer. So as it's coming up to temperature, you will see some of that scum come to the top. We skim that and discard it. But the reason for the blanching of the meats on the first step is to help with that process. It's going to make the skimming a lot easier. Here we are after about 45 minutes worth of cooking. You could see how gently the bubbles are coming up from the bottom. This is where you want it to be, a very gentle simmer like so. This also, with the gentle cooking, helps maintain the clarity of the stock. Also, by pre-cooking them or blanching them in that water to begin with, is also aiding in this becoming clearer. So occasionally, go on through and do some skimming, and then check back on it. Well, here we are after 6 hours of simmering. I want to go ahead and add my carrots and my parsnip. It's best to leave these in larger pieces like so, just because it's going to make it so much easier to extract. So we're gonna let this continue to simmer until the carrots and parsnip are cooked. Should be approximately 12, maybe 15 minutes. Well, now that our vegetables are done, let's go ahead and remove them. Spice ball. And now let's remove our meat. Or as I like to call our tasty pig parts. Now ready for the straining. I have a gallon-sized pitcher with a strainer in there, and I'm gonna line it with cheesecloth. And now I have some shaved garlic. And now I'm gently going to take my ladle and go ahead and pour the stock over top of the garlic. Essentially, we're just going to infuse some of the garlic flavors into the stock. The color on this is really nice, really clear. You turn it this way, see if you can get a glimpse of that while I'm pouring it. And it's very sticky. So that means it's very gelatinous, and that is what we're looking for. Gelatinous and clear. Next, this is very important. As you can see, there's a top layer of fat. We need to get rid of that. So what I like to do is, a couple ways you can do it. One, you could do it with a spoon or a ladle and just gently press into the liquid and allowing the displacement to push the fat over the edge. You could also kind of skim it with the edge like that. You definitely don't want this in your kocsonya, because what will happen is as it gets cold and solidifies, you're gonna have this top layer of just cold fat. You're really gonna make the dish unpleasant. So skimming as much of the fat as humanly possible. So what I'll do is, when I got as much as I can from the ladle, I'll show you all another little trick. Go ahead and take a paper towel and just lay it right over the top. Press down like so, pull it right out. The fats are gonna stick to the paper towel, and the liquid just drops right off back into the vessel. All right, I'm happy with it. And now we are ready for assembly of the plate. Now for assembly, what I like to do is take different parts of the meat that we just cooked. You know, there's some of the tail, here's the ear. And I just kind of lay it around in there, no particular way. Put in some of the other meats from the hock and stuff. Then I will add a little bit of the veg. The veg, I don't go too crazy with, just more of an accent, kind of make it pop a little bit. Let's add some of this smoked hock. The smoked hock is a little different than just something that was regularly smoked. This was actually cured first, so it's more like a ham. So now that I have my base down, I will go ahead and lay my egg in here, and I just like to shingle it, something like so. And let's gently take our ladle, gently pour your broth in. And now we will send it to I'll let it sit out to cool down, maybe 30 minutes or so, and then I will move it to a refrigerator. Or being is right now it's almost New Year's Eve, I will put this in the garage. It's cold enough. Overnight, tomorrow we'll have it for breakfast, and it'll be set and completely gelatinous. Well, there you have my procedure and recipe for making kocsonya. It is time consuming, so make certain that you start earlier in the day. Otherwise, it's not very difficult. There are a couple things that are optional, or I choose to do, where you could do other methods. One was the blanching of the pork parts at the beginning. I'll tell you this, by doing that, it saves you so much babysitting and skimming of the scum and all the other debris on the stock. That little 5-minute thing and rinsing it off and taking a clean pot with cold water, starting from there, really yields a clear kocsonya, or a clear broth stock, aspic, however you want to refer to it. I love the addition of smoked meat to it. Helps give it a little more character. Keep in mind, if you add a smoked meat, depending on how much smoked meat you add, the color will get a little darker. So it might not have that lighter yellowish color that it normally has. Hard-boiled egg is optional. I particularly don't like it in mine, but I figured I would show it just for everyone to see. Also, when you're pouring the aspic or the gelatinous stock into the bowl, you want to pour it very gently. If you pour it too fast, you're going to get bubbles in it, and it just doesn't look as good. It's all about showing the clarity and the nice silky smooth. For now, we will let it set, and then you garnish it with lemon juice or vinegar is traditionally done. I kind of like pickled onions on mine because that adds the acid, plus it's adding an onion, which is, you know, a little more flavor. Pouring it over the garlic in the cheesecloth is optional. That will yield you a garlicky finish on it. I'll tell you now, just even pouring it, you can smell the garlic coming up. My family really likes the garlic, so what better way to get fresh garlic smell or flavor without it being bitter or overcooked. Well, thank you very much for joining. I hope you enjoyed the demonstration. Give it a shot. It's not super difficult, but there are just some techniques in it that will make a regular kocsonya an excellent kocsonya. Thanks for joining. You had fun.